Testing, testing. Okay. Are we ready to go? Hi, good morning everyone, and we are going to start the pre-U finals for the Singapore Cycling Esports Inter-School Cup 2025. And now we're going to do a quick introduction of the riders. Okay, starting from bike number 2, we have, can you introduce your name, school, and your goal?
Zachary from Hwa Chong. My goal is to be like a triathlete maybe.
Okay, what about your goal for today?
Maybe top 5.
Okay, all the best. Okay, next rider on bike number 3.
I'm Jared from Singapore Poly, and I'm try my best today. Yeah, that's all.
Okay, all the best. Okay, next rider on bike number 4. Yes.
I'm Kaden from Singapore Polytechnic also. I want to try my best and try not to die.
Okay, all the best. And next?
I'm Braden from IT West. I just try my best today.
Okay, all the best.
I'm Gaching from Ngee Poly. I'll just try to stick to the peloton. I'll just try to stick to the peloton.
Okay, don't be humble. Okay, all the best. Next.
I'm Shafiq from Ngee Polytechnic also. And my goal is to beat these guys today.
Okay, all the best.
I'm Jing Kang from SP. My goal is to not get dropped.
Okay, all the best.
My name is Brendan from Hwa Chong Institution, and my goal today is to not get dropped with Jing Kang.
Okay, all the best.
My name is Ethan. I'm from Singapore Poly. My goal is to not die.
Okay, all the best. Okay, and we have the final rows of the riders. Okay, starting on bike number 14.
I'm Adam, and I'm from NYP, and I'm here to have fun. That is it.
Okay, all the best.
I'm Ming from Nanyang Polytechnic, and I just want to try my best. Yeah.
Okay, all the best.
I'm Caleb from IT Central. Today I just want to try my best.
Okay, all the best.
I'm Hanif from TP, and I want to have fun. Yeah.
Okay, all the best. And now we're gonna have 3 more minutes to start. And today we have the commentator partner with me.
Hello, I'm Ryan. Welcome to today's pre-U final for the Inter-School Cup, the Singapore Cycling Esports Inter-School Cup. So today on the menu, what we have is 16.1 kilometers with 175 meters of climbing. So it's a pretty flat course, pretty short, pretty punchy, but there's one major climb in the middle as well. So this is something that is going to be quite interesting to see how all the different riders, who are all of which are of different profiles, some perhaps a bit lighter, some perhaps more power focused, and we'll see how they deal with this mixed terrain. So Yijun, how do you think this will turn out?
Okay, sorry, before I continue, Fitra, do I still need this mic or not? Yes, okay. So anyway, so I think we had the earlier B division finals earlier. The results were quite unexpected because at the start I think there was some breakaway, and one of the hot favorite, he didn't thought that he can manage. He thought that the pack will wait for him. So in the end, the pack left, and he was 1 minute behind, and he didn't manage to catch back. So I think the starting will be hard and fast, but once we go up the climb, I think it's really a climber's game already.
All right, we'll see how that turns out. We have just under 2 minutes to the start. Everyone's warming up, getting ready, spinning their legs, getting ready for what will probably be quite an intense start, I think, as a lot of esports races tend to be. Okay, so Yijun, just before the start, alright, having seen them through the qualifiers yesterday, who do you think are some of the potential favourites to win the race based on what you've seen or based on what you know of the riders?
Okay, so that's a very good question. So I think firstly within this field there are some riders that are auto qualified. So these riders are usually the national training squad or national development squad riders, and they have actually bike number 7 Shafiq. So Shafiq, yeah, that's him. So he's auto qualified to the finals, and we have Gachang on bike number 6 and Braden on bike number 5. So I think these 3 might be the top favorite. Okay, from the national development squad slash training squad side, but I think we also have the first rider in yellow from yesterday, Jing Kang, he's on bike number 8, and also Brandon, he's on bike number 9. So you can look at Brandon's leg, how muscular it is. So we'll see where will that take the pack afterwards. So I think this at least the hot favorites in my opinion lah.
Alright, and we're just about to start. We're getting ready with the countdown timer, and we are go. So now we'll see all of them just pushing off. Alright, so just to take you through the interface a little bit for those of you watching on the live stream. Alright, you'll see each specific rider's power output in the middle, but at the same time on the right side you see the leaderboard, and you also see their names along with the bike numbers, so that helps to keep track of what positions they are all in. Alright, at the same time you can see them on screen at the side, alright, of the live stream, so you get to see how much effort they're doing. So after a quick start we have Ethan in the lead, right? Yeah, Ethan in the lead, followed by Adam, Mingit, and Caleb, all separated by less than a second. So this is quite an intense start, all of them going quickly, but there's not much separation.
Yeah, so as you can see here, I think on the interface on the right hand side, you can see beside the leaderboard, Ethan plus 5, there's actually 5 of them in the leaders, and the rest are actually forming the second pack, Zachary 02 plus 6. So if the second pack doesn't catch up now, I think most likely they will drop already, because I think the first pack is going hard and fast for the first time round. And we can see even on the leaderboard, Braden, Jing Kang, Gacheng, all they are like 2 to 3 seconds behind. So you better catch up.
In fact, we already have the first split, right? Hanif and Braden are bridging across to the first pack of leaders, followed closely by Gacheng, Jared, and Zachary. So hopefully they will gather back and then we'll see how that goes. But you can see off the start, quick downhill, you can see actually the elevation profile at the bottom of the screen as well. So for those of you who are viewing it online, on the live stream, you can see what's their progress and how each rider is coping. Some of them I guess have heart rate monitors, some don't have, but you can see the power output and their cadence as well. So that gives you a rough idea of what kind of effort they're putting out just to either hang in the pack or perhaps some of them contributing turns to pull everyone along. Alright, it looks like we have two riders trying to make a quick getaway. Gacheng and Shafiq, right? 2 of our NDS or National Training Squad riders. Yeah, so maybe let's take a look at what it is like for them.
So you can see on the camera now the handsome face is Gacheng, and on his left the black one is in black jersey Shafiq.
So just a little bit about them. So Gacheng rides he's in one of the amateur racing teams in Singapore, RS Factor Racing, and in fact he came off quite a good result of the recent national championships, right? So interesting to see how it translates from outdoor riding into indoor racing as well.
Alright, and now I think we can see that Gacheng and Shafiq, they are the lead, they are the 2 riders at the front, but whether will they make it all the way to the top as the leaders, that remains to be seen.
Alright, and on screen now we have the second pack taking a look at the entire peloton actually. So 11 of them all together. There are a total of 13 riders today. So 13 riders, 2 in a breakaway, Shafiq and Gacheng, followed by the rest of the pack all separated less than a second together. So was this what you expected of the race start?
I think yeah, exactly. So I overheard Shafiq earlier mentioning go hard from the start, so I guess that is the strategy. But for the rest of y'all, if y'all are catching up, if y'all don't catch up now, if the gap continues to grow, I think that's it already. Like, once they reach the hill, we won't see them anymore already.
So for those of you watching a live stream online and you're wondering why does it sound like we're talking to the riders, it's because whatever commentary we're speaking, they can hear it in venue. So there's a little bit of whether it's friendly agitation or it's some banter going on to encourage them. to spice up the racing, they can hear everything we're saying too.
Yeah, so as you can see now, we are still watching Jing Kang together with Ming Yi. They are still in the second pack. Let us go back and look at the front. At the start for Gacheng and Shafiq, they are 8 seconds ahead. Okay, and I think the pack is slowly coming back.
Yeah. So the riders can see the time gaps on screen, and those of you on the live stream will also be able to see on the right side how they organize the different packs. So you see the leaders, Gacheng +1, so there's him and Shafiq, followed by Zachary +10, so that's the peloton trailing by about 8 seconds, which actually is a pretty big gap considering the pace or the power that these riders are going. Right, 8 seconds is in cycling terms, it's quite an eternity. So I guess it's interesting to see how that develops, especially going into the climb later, midway through the race. Now they're still on some rolling terrain. You can see a few short uphill punches, but generally flat, and these riders may not necessarily feel too much of an incline throughout these sections.
So Ryan, if you are racing this today, what would be your strategy?
That depends. For myself, as a particularly heavier rider, I think getting into the early break would be good, so that I could, have a little bit of leeway up the climb, because I think especially when the lighter riders try to smash it up and they have the advantage in terms of watts per kg, which comes into play a lot more than just the raw power output itself on steeper climbs, then that's where hopefully I won't get dropped and I can try to make the chase back on the downhill as well. So for heavier riders, perhaps taking control on the flats or setting themselves up for the descent might help them quite a bit.
Yeah, that's very interesting. And now looking at the pack, actually we see that the pack has been further split already. I think now the very first pack, let us look at Shafiq and Shafiq and Gacheng. So Gacheng is now at the front, and then Shafiq is just slightly behind him. So that's the first pack, and the gap is still 10 seconds. Do you think will the pack peloton actually catch up with the breakaway?
Well, that depends. It doesn't seem like they're putting a concerted effort to chase, but they're holding the time gap relatively steady, around 10 seconds. 9-10 seconds, which is kind of consistent, quite steady. Maybe they're quite confident that they can push the pace later when the attacks fly and then people can bridge across to them. But interestingly, I think we are starting to see a few stragglers off the back. I think dropping back we have Jared and Zachary, and a few more riders starting to struggle and to hold the pace of this peloton as well.
Yeah, and now actually looking at the second pack, we have Ming Yi. So let's look at how Ming Yi is actually doing now. And then we have actually Kaden, Hanif, Adam, and Caleb, Ethan, and Jing Kang together. So about 6 of them, I think, in one pack. So for this pack, the gap now is about 8 seconds behind Shafiq and Gacheng. So I think their strategy is probably just to take it easy because they know they might catch them anyway later.
I guess something interesting to note while we are taking a look at who is where on the course. I guess some of these riders, they are translating some of their outdoor racing experience or some of their even indoor racing experience into their tactics today, right? In fact, there are some, I think, first-time competitors only joining in this virtual Inter-School Cup, or rather this virtual Inter-School Cup being their first time racing, as opposed to some of these more seasoned riders participating in last year's virtual national championship as well as this year's Power Series organised by Virtual Cycling Singapore. So Yijun, as a member of Virtual Cycling Singapore, maybe you'd like to tell us a little bit about what is it like for, that when you guys set up or organize these indoor competitions and what you hope to grow.
Yeah, so I think obviously the main goal is to encourage everyone to take up esports cycling, and eventually we can use that as a pathway to go inside school and develop more cycling pathway for youth and juniors that are interested to explore a journey or career in cycling. I think that's our main aim. So that's why we have been trying to create as much cycling competitions, particularly in esports cycling this year, as much as possible.
That's great to hear. Now back to the race, we're looking at even further splits now. So aside from the initial breakaway of Shafiq and Gacheng, we're starting to see 2 pelotons or 2 chasing groups, right? About 4 to 5 people each, and they're holding the gap respective to each other and to the breakaway about 7-8 seconds each. So interesting to see how the groups have developed. And it's also, I guess, at least in this initial early stages of the race. We say early, but they're almost midway through the race now. Interesting to see how perhaps some riders are playing it a little bit more conservative, some are going a bit more aggressive, perhaps even trying to bridge across. But I think it'll be interesting to see when all the attacks will come, especially into the climbs. So let's take a look at the front group, Shafiq and Gacheng. And it seems like they're relaying with each other pretty well, holding the gap steady about 8-9 seconds, 7 to 8 seconds actually. So we'll see if we can get a shot of them on camera. In fact, in the wide angle camera, you do see them in the front row. Yeah, you see Shafiq in the foreground, Gacheng right next to him. Definitely putting in effort. I think they want to hold this breakaway quite steady, and hopefully that gives them an advantage over the climb and into the descent, right?
Yeah, correct. Now let's look at the second pack, Caden. So I think Caden is now together with Mingit, Hanif, and Ethan and Caleb. So now their group initially of about 6 riders is down to 6/7 riders are now down to 5. I think it's still a decent group if they really want to chase down. So it really depends. So I think there's some lighter riders like Caleb, so he's relatively light. I think Ethan is quite tall, I'm not sure about his weight. But I think definitely we will know who will actually emerge faster when the climb start climbing.
I guess that's something interesting to note, right? Even on indoor racing, you do have all these measurements like height and weight coming into play aside from just the raw power output. So I guess that's something to consider as well, because I guess now with all these advanced algorithms, we have to input pretty much the rider's characteristics and they try to translate it into a virtual avatar and see how all this can affect the race dynamics as well. Who's drafting, how the climbs or even the descents will feel. Yeah. So taking a look at what's going on in the race, we see Caden, Mingit, Ethan and Caleb still trying to mount the chase. And in fact, they're starting to close the gap just a little, right? Maybe about 5 to 6 seconds, they're slowly chipping away. But we're gonna see that the lead group, right, the breakaway, going into the climb soon. So let's take a look at Gacheng and Shafiq. Virtually, you see the two of them still relaying together, and you can see on the bottom of the screens that they are starting to hit the foot of the climb. So this is going to be, I guess, the one big major climb in the race. And you do see that, especially with the outline of the gradients at the bottom, starting to go quite deep as well. It's already hitting 6%, so that's like starting to climb Mount Faber for those of you who are trying to get a reference of what these riders will be feeling in the legs as well. So they may not feel the bike physically tilt up, they may not feel but they will definitely feel the resistance increase, and they will have to try to compensate that as well. So even though on screen it starts to come together, in fact the breakaway has been caught. So now it's one big group of 7 of them. Lead group followed by a chasing pack of 4, and then Zachary behind, almost a minute down.
Yeah, so I guess now if they have just went over the first hill, they are approaching like a flat section before they start the steeper section of the climb. And I think some of the steeper section later will go up to about 10 to 11% gradient. So I think if there's any attacks that are going to happen now, it will likely be after the flat section, because if they don't make it now, the next time that they can attack is only the uphill finish at the end, which is actually not much of a climb, to be honest.
Now we're taking a look at the chasing pack actually. On screen we're following Braden, who is actually one of our NDS or National Development Squad riders. So I think personally it's a little bit interesting or surprising to see that he's in the chasing pack, but hopefully he's starting to make inroads. In fact, he's starting to try to bridge across, leaving his chasing group behind, but he has a big gap to try to close, 30 seconds. So you can see on screen he's just passed a 6.9 kilometer banner to go. He's just cleared one climb and he's going to start the second half of the climb soon. So do you think that he'll be able to bridge across?
I think it depends. So if he still has a lot in his tank, then yes. But if let's say he's hurting already, I think it'll be tough. So it really depends on how much he has left.
The lead group. So going back to the front group, we're taking a look. Please excuse the camera kind of teleporting in the middle of the ground. but we'll try to see that they are actually still climbing. You can see the gradient on the top right corner of the screen, hitting 9-10% slope. So this may be starting to feel like the steep side of Faber, but they're only about halfway up the climb, and there's still some steeper ramps just a little bit ahead. So you can see that they're still holding it steady, pacing it up, and I wonder whether some of them will look to attack over the crest into the descent as well.
And now we can see, I think some of the riders are now outside, out of their saddle already. So we can see now Caleb is at the front. I think Shafiq is trying to close the gap. And then we have Kaden behind and Gacheng behind. And Hanif is, together with Mingit, about 2 to 4 seconds behind the leaders at the front. So whether will this gap continue to grow, we'll see, but it's definitely a steep section that we totally cannot underestimate.
And in fact, Caleb has taken the lead and he's starting to distance the people behind. So even on screen, it doesn't look like very big gaps, but the time gaps still matter. And especially with their reduced speed on this climb, yeah, there will still be a fair bit of chasing to do, especially once the speed picks up, if the time gaps remain steady.
So now Caleb has, together with him, Kaden slightly behind. They have put about 3 seconds in front of Gacheng and about 5 seconds in front of Shafiq. Whether will Caleb and Kaden make it all the way to the top, it remains to be seen. Because Shafiq and Gacheng, they are heavier riders, so obviously there's a chance that they might catch back up later at the descent as well. So we'll really see later how will they tackle this upslope.
And I guess that's the thing, right? Here on the slopes is where we expected the attacks to come, and you can see that even on the leaderboards, the group really splintering, right? Forming many chasing packs or chasing groups, supposedly, even if it's an individual rider. So you still have Kaden at the front, together with Gacheng, right? And the two of them are trying to, I guess, hold a gap steady away from Caleb and Shafiq. And Hanif is starting to struggle behind, about almost 20 seconds behind. So it's going to be interesting to see how they make it over the climb and whether they can lead the chase down the descent as well.
Yeah, so let's look at the first two riders, Gacheng and Kaden. So they are just slightly ahead of Caleb, about 5 seconds, and they are going to enter the descent now. So obviously, I think compared to Kaden, who is on bike number 4, Gacheng has an advantage over the downhill because he's heavier. So as you can see now, he's leading a 3 second to 2 second gap in front of Kaden.
Alright, and now he's starting the descent and he's already having a 2 second gap. So now the interesting thing is whether he'll use this opportunity to rest the legs a little bit, especially on quite a steep descent, almost 9-10%. So yeah, we'll see whether any of these riders use this opportunity to coast down the descent, right? Maybe if they're fast enough, they can do a virtual aero tuck. Fortunately, still legal virtually, maybe not in real world racing. But we'll see how that factors in, because the descents also play a part in allowing some recovery and perhaps for a later push as well.
So as you can see now, Gacheng, he has go past the first downhill. He's approaching a flat section, and then he's now going for the second downhill, and he's 4 seconds in front of Kaden, and Caleb is now 7 seconds ahead. So I think most likely the podium position are more or less confirmed, but it's just who will take the first, second, and third. So now Gacheng, he is going to approach the foot of the hill soon, and he will approach a flat section. And then Kaden is 5 seconds behind, followed by Caleb. So let's say if you are Kaden, or Caleb, what would your strategy be to close down the gap with Gacheng?
Oh, this will be a tough one, because putting in the effort now, especially in this final descent, will still mean that your legs are cooked, right? And going to the flat, and then you have to go up against a powerhouse like Gacheng. It's not going to be easy, but perhaps trying a long-range flyer if you can close the gap, or trying to bring it into a bunch sprint and hoping for the best. But nonetheless, Gacheng is quite a power rider as well, and he's definitely putting it to good use, establishing quite a big gap already, 7 seconds going into the final 4 kilometers. So 4 kilometers doesn't sound like much, but in cycling terms it's long, right? Maybe almost maybe 6 to 7 minutes effort depending on what's their pace. definitely going quickly. And Gacheng is already steadily increasing the gap. Just in this time that I'm talking alone, he's already increased it by another 2 seconds, into 3 seconds in fact, to about 10 seconds gap, and we'll see whether he can hold it all the way to the finish, where there's one more short uphill punch before pretty much flat terrain.
Correct, and now we can see that, let's click on Caden and see where he is on the map. So Caden is together with Caleb now. So I think they must be quite tired after the uphill effort earlier, and although they had just go with a downhill, they should be still relatively tired. And whether will Shafiq catch up, I think Shafiq should be catching up, he's about 2 seconds behind. So it's actually 3 riders against Gacheng, and whether will they work together to catch Gacheng, that would be an interesting story to see.
Yeah, so I guess there's something you asked, right? What's the tactics here? I would say if I'm one of the 3 riders, what I would try to do is to relay with each other, right? And then hope for the best if you can bring it down to a bunch sprint, because Gacheng still has to put out some power to try to maintain the gap. But nonetheless, you know, the 3 of us, the 3 riders will have to relay together to try to bring the gap down and then give themselves a shot at winning, right? If, especially if any of them are from the same school, then that could bring some team tactics into play. I think that's something that perhaps we haven't really talked about. If you know these riders are in the same school, perhaps they could work as a team and try to, you know, whether it's closing gaps down, trying to attack each other, or trying to, you know, whittle down the competition. But it seems in this case that Gacheng is really powering away. The gap is down to 8 seconds, but it seems to be holding relatively steady.
Okay, and now we can see that the pack has passed the 13 km mark. Okay, as in they're approaching the 13 km mark, and we have about 3 more kilometers to go. So I think Gacheng is obviously the ITT master in the category in his. So I think if they let him go now, they will never catch him back. So it really depends what's the strategy of Caleb, Shafi and Caden. Will they want to chase Gacheng down and do it in a bunch sprint, or will they let Gacheng go and then within themselves they fight for the second and third podium position? We'll see how it goes.
But that's the thing, right? It's challenging because here you have the recently crowned national champion for his age category, in the junior category, in fact, right? Both for the individual time trial and in the road race. So it's not going to be easy because, yeah, you have basically a powerhouse right there, and the 3 of them have to take their chances. So 7 seconds is a gap, slowly coming down, but do you think they'll be able to mount a chase with Gacheng starting to hit the final punch up?
I think if they don't chase now, they will never make it. So they are, as I see, Gacheng is going up the uphill already. So if they let Gacheng go now, I think likely Gacheng will take the champion position.
So on screen now we're looking at this chasing group, and it seems like, I guess they're starting to look at each other, starting to try to play cat and mouse to each other. Maybe perhaps to them, you know, taking first place is a foregone conclusion. But what they can still do is to play it out for second, third and fourth, basically the rest of the podium positions. So even though they can see Gacheng on screen, the gap is down to 6 seconds, but up this climb, or this short uphill punch, 4%, they could try something, try an attack, but it might be a little bit far with 1.5 km to go to the end.
Okay, so interestingly, the gap has closed. It's now down to, let's look at Caden. Can we click on Caden? I think Caden is now ahead in first, and Caleb is in front with Shafiq. They have just overtaken Gacheng on the climb, but it's still early. We have 1.4 km to go. It's a really interesting match, to be honest. I don't know how it will turn out.
Yeah, just when we thought one thing is settled, then it just completely changes, right? And now we have Caleb, Shafiq, and Caden leading Gacheng, right? And I guess they're going to try to form a group of 4 and take it to a bunch sprint. So they'll fight for first, second, and third. One person's going to lose out.
Correct. So I think some of the riders here is first time racing on Three Peaks, so just a friendly advice. Later you go past the finishing banner once, so don't take it as the finishing banner is the finish. Look at the distance. This is a friendly advice. Then we see that they are all coming together, the 4 of them, with now Caden drop back slightly by 2 seconds.
Alright, and you see that they just passed some red smoke on the course, and that indicates 1 kilometer to go. So in real world racing, normally we call it a red flag, the flamme rouge. In this case now they know that they have just this little distance to go. And it looks like Kaden is trying something, right? He's trying to attack. No, Gacheng is responding, right? And they're going to go into this what looks like a virtual velodrome, right? And they're going to do 1 lap or 1.5 laps around this before what will probably be a sprint finish. So you can see that they're all accelerating. Their speed is all going in green. Gacheng is putting out the power, alright, already causing 1 short split, and the question is, can he hold this to the line? 500 meters to go. Right, Caleb and Shafiq chasing behind. Was it too early? Will he be able to hang on? Caleb is closing the gap slowly.
Right, come on, we have 300 more meters to go. Come on, up, let's go. Come on.
Okay, we're looking at, we have Caleb on screen and we're looking whether he can close the gap. Gacheng
Come on,
holding
Caleb, come
on.
on.
They're coming to the start finish straight, 100 meters to go, and there's a sprint.
Come on, Gacheng, come on.
And it looks like Caleb is going to take it. Second place goes to Gacheng, and Kaden comes in 3rd place. Right, Shafiq rounding out the top 4. Alright, and then we have the rest of the pack coming in. So Brandon still has 1 more round of the velodrome to go.
Okay, so interesting thing about Brandon, so I haven't told you all this, but he's a national speed skater. He has represented Singapore in Winter Olympics before. So that's Brandon for you, so feel free to talk to him afterwards.
Alright, but that is the finish for the front pack. Alright, so once again we have Caleb winning from Gacheng and Kaden, all within just less than 1.5 seconds from each other, and then Shafiq following shortly behind. Brandon just behind them, and then we have Ethan following right behind him as well.
Okay, so well done to all the riders who have finished, and now we are looking to finish the 8th, 9th, 10th position. Well done everyone. And we are seeing Brandon coming in.
Yep, and on screen we have Mingyit, who's just finished in 8th place. And right behind him we are looking at Braden and Jing Kang, who are going to tough it out for 9th and 10th place. So they have 1 lap to go. Alright, Braden seems like he's slowing down a little bit. Jing Kang looks like he's putting in a bit of effort for a flyer, but it looks like Braden is starting to kick as well. You can look at his power wattage on the screen, just flying up high, 700 plus watts. Looks like he's going to try to take this sprint against Jing Kang. Right, Jing Kang has a slight gap ahead. Can he hold Braden off? Braden, even though he's quite a lightweight rider, but he still has quite a mean sprint as well. So it's close, and Braden is going to take it right at the line, 9th place, and then Jing Kang rounds up the top 10. Right, just within 0.3 seconds from each other. So Yijun, do you think this was the result you expected? Caleb winning from Gacheng, right, and Kaden rounding up the podium.
I mean, okay, because Caleb is from BSG Academy, so before this he told me that he was having diarrhea, so I personally don't have much expectation. So I'm still proud of him. I think it's an interesting race. All the riders gave their best. It's really an interesting race. We didn't know, like, Gacheng went in front and then they caught back and then Gacheng catch back again. It's really an interesting race. Okay, so for those of y'all who are still online, okay, don't go away because afterwards we'll be live streaming the podium ceremony as well. But now we are waiting for the remaining riders to complete the race.
Yeah, and just as a quick review of the race, I think it's quite, it was definitely quite exciting. We had Shafiq and Gacheng going for an early breakaway, right? And then basically the first half of the race before the climb, it was a steady gap of about maybe 8 to 9 seconds, and the peloton just didn't let them get away. But at the same time, reeled them in up the climb where we thought the attacks would come. There were some splits, and Gacheng took a flyer on the descent, tried to establish a gap and tried to break away, but in the end he was caught just with that little bit to go on that last punch uphill. So definitely exciting, definitely I guess each rider trying their best to play to their strengths but also reacting and responding to each other.
Alright, and now I think we have Zachary finishing. Okay, let's give a round of applause for Zachary. Okay, as he finishes his last 200 meter. Well done, Zachary. So Zachary is from Hwa Chong, and he is one of the newer riders that we see in the scene today up against a very, very, very strong field. Okay, well done, Zachary.
Yeah, in fact, well done to all the riders, not just Zachary, all the first-time competitors, right, and all those seasoned racers as well. Everyone putting on definitely a good competitive show, reacting, responding to each other, right, giving their best, trying whatever they can to put themselves in a good position. And in fact, with these riders being pretty young, right, all pre-university, right, I think this actually bodes quite well that there are all these young talents in Singapore cycling, and hopefully they can go pretty far.
Yeah, so actually, Kahun, can we let Ryan announce the winner for afterwards? Can, right? Okay, so don't go away, the online viewers. Okay, we are gonna have the podium ceremony soon, so stick around, give us about 2 to 3 minutes to actually clean up, and then we will have the podium ceremony. So Ryan, once again, thank you so much, Ryan, for taking your time off and being a part, and then later Ryan will be announcing the winners for the 1 to 5th position podium ceremony.
Alright, thank you for having me on this live stream as well. So let's give a round of applause to the riders, and we'll be back shortly to present the prizes to the winners. And supporters, welcome to the prize presentation ceremony of the 2025 Singapore Cycling Esports Interschool Cup for the pre-university category. Today is indeed a historic moment. It's the first time we have esports cycling in the interschool competition, and it's the first time that we are organizing this courtesy of Virtual Cycling Singapore. Every rider today definitely gave it their all. And we did see quite a lot of exciting racing. So now it's time to award the top 5 finishers and to commend them for their efforts alongside all those who raced together with them. So all 5 will receive a special sponsor prize, a limited edition VSG bidon, a water bottle and towel, a keepsake from this landmark event, the first ever Esports Cycling Interschool Cup. So let's begin with the prize presentation ceremony. In 5th place, from Hwa Chong Institution, we have Brandon Pop. Let's give him a round of applause. Finishing with a time of 25 minutes and 33 seconds, Brandon definitely gave it his all, just missing out on the front group, but he made the most of his competition as well. Up next, in 4th place, rounding up the lead group, we have from Ngee Ann Polytechnic, Shafiq Afandi. Finishing with a time of 24 minutes and 58 seconds, he just missed out on that final sprint in that lead group, rounding up the top 4. Now onto the coveted podium positions. In 3rd place, from Singapore Polytechnic, taking home a bronze medal and $60 in vouchers, we have Caden Tan. Finishing just 1 second ahead of Shafiq, he had a time of completion of 24 minutes and 57 seconds. Well done, Caden. Now on to the 2nd place finisher. We have from Ngee Ann Polytechnic, finishing with a time of 24 minutes and 57 seconds, Yip Ga Cheng. And now for the champion of the pre-university category, winning in a sprint, we have taking home a gold medal, $120 in vouchers, and finishing with a time of 24 minutes and 56 seconds, Caleb To from the Institute of Technical Education, College Central. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for all our racers and our prize winners. To all the student athletes who took part, thank you for making this event special. You have shown that cycling can be competitive, exciting, and cutting edge, all while indoors, and displaying all your young talent right here in this setting. This is just the beginning for esports cycling in Singapore schools, and all of you were here at the start. So let this be just the beginning of a journey, and hope to see you guys in future competitions and to showcase your brilliant talent elsewhere as well.